Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, Baba Bagede Imo TV. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. FG should stop funding universities, says Senate. ASU strike, Buhari regime does not value education, says Sanusi. Students are learning mechanics, some are pregnant, Nan's president. I paid 30 million naira for my priest, Bishop Kuka laments. Insecurity in Ibadan indigents vow to protect Southwest against invaders. Nigerian police torture detained family of 6, including 11-month-old baby. Tension in Abuja, residents flee as terrorists promise fresh attacks. Kogi pastor who sells bulletproof water to be investigated by security personnel. And on foreign, Nigerians film over King Charles' refusal to shake a black man. And on sports, Algeria suffered injury blow ahead of Super Eagles friendly. Now the news in detail. The Chairman Senate Committee on Finance, Senator Solomon Olamileko, during interactive session with revenue generating agencies on 2023-2025 NTEF/FSP, revealed that some universities generate 17 billion naira annually and spent all despite the federal government is taking care of both recurrent and capital expenditures. He added that it is time for the Nigerian students to begin to ask salient questions to their various school authorities on how funds generated by schools and institutions internally are spent. According to him, federal government should allow stop funding of government-owned universities because some universities generate up to 17 billion naira and spend everything without justification. He further stated that if the lecturers can fix their salaries, the government should allow the universities to fix their school fees and the autonomous. He lamented that the ASU decision to embark on strike over 7 months because the government failed to meet their demand is regrettable. Moving on to the next story as regards the ASU strike, former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Lamido Sanusi, says the APC regime under President Muhammadu Buhari does not value education. He urged the regime to resolve its impasse with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. ASU has been on strike since February. Mr. Sanusi also urged the regime to invest in education to encourage teachers to be at their best. He noted that now people underrate the value of education. The former emir of Kano added, "What is happening now is that we have people who have moved into authority and who do not value education as a society is so much materialistic. It is all about money now, and teachers are looked down upon because they don't have money." He pointed out that most of these teachers have the option to do other courses, but they chose to educate our children and contribute to our society. So we need to look at our value system and go back to our traditional value system of respecting teachers, and if we treat them with respect, we'll get a lot from them, added the ex-CBN governor. So the next story is still on the ASU. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has criticized the federal government for the ongoing 7-month-old strike embarked on by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. NANS said the strike has jeopardized and bastardized the fundamental human right of Nigerian students, which is access to education. Comrade Oluseyi Tolulokwe Samson, Lagos NANS chairman, disclosed this on Arise TV morning show on Tuesday while responding to questions pertaining to students' protest at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos on Monday. The national student body leader said the strike has affected the future of their members, adding that some male students have become mechanics, some are learning printing works, while some female students are pregnant. The federal government has jeopardized and bastardized the fundamental human right of the Nigerian students. There are some who came to the protest yesterday with their ID cards, learning mechanics now. Some are learning printing works while some female students are pregnant, Samson concluded. Moving on to the next story as regards insecurity. Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Dr. Matthew Kuka, yesterday disclosed that he had paid almost 30 million naira for the release of his abducted priest. Kuka lamented that he was faced with a fresh challenge of paying another 30 million naira to rescue and secure freedom for his nephew and a driver abducted a few days ago. Bishop Kuka revealed this while speaking during a one-day program, high-level forum on political communication and issue-based campaigns in the 2023 general elections, organized by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILDS, in collaboration with the Kuka Center in Abuja. He also said Nigerians need someone who understands the situation of things in the country. I am the Bishop of Sokoto Diocese. I have spent about 30 million naira because my priests were kidnapped and I have nowhere to turn to. I am not ashamed to say it because these are essential realities. Anyone who wants to become president of Nigeria cannot pretend to stand before me without giving me empirical evidence from his or her record about how they intend to deal with these issues because there is a collective feeling of alienation, he added. He further added that his nephew and driver of the vehicle were yet to regain their freedom. From the north, we go to southwest. Ibadan Indigenes, under the auspices of Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes, CCII, have promised to protect the southwest region against any form of invasion. The CCII, which is the umbrella body of all indigenes of Ibadan, made this disclosure on Monday during a press conference to herald the celebration of Kiriji War Treaty signed in 1886. Daily Post gathered that Kiriji War was the longest ethnic war among the Yoruba ethnic group. The war ended with a Yoruba peace treaty in 1886. The CCII, while speaking with journalists during the media briefing, said it would champion the convergence of political leaders and heads of socio-cultural groups in Yoruba land so as to tackle insecurity within the region. CCII President General Prince Yemisi Adiaga, while speaking, noted that there was a need to ensure that political heads and all socio-cultural groups collaborate to secure the region against external attacks. He added that the move became necessary to save the region from invaders and external forces, which have become threat to lives and property in the region. Moving on to the next story as regards policing. A housewife, Mrs. Happiness Liberty, has accused the Nigerian police force of doing what is not supposed to be, detaining herself, her husband, his siblings, 3 children, including an 11-month-old baby at the Igodo division in Lagos. The mother of 3, a resident of Igodo in Alimosho local government area of Lagos State, who narrated her audio to Sahara reporters, noted that after the injuries inflicted on them, including their children, the police went ahead and arraigned the family to cover up for the torture. She said that the arraignment was justified her incarceration with her children in police custody for days, with accompanying threat not to grant any interview to the media, or her husband or siblings will be killed. Happiness said their ordeal started from Sunday, September 11, 2022, adding that they were tortured for 4 days from 11 to 14 September 2022 without food or water. While narrating the incident, the mother of 3 stated that on Sunday, 11 September 2022, they were returning from church in the evening when a commercial motorcycle, otherwise known as Okada, knocked her husband. Trouble, she said, began when her husband turned around and asked the driver why he hit him with his bike. Instead of apologizing, the driver, who was later identified as a police officer attached to the Igodo Police Division, questioned whether he knew his identity. While the conversation went on, the police officer allegedly slapped her husband. She further said that when her husband's siblings, who were some distance behind, came to inquire what was going on, the policeman, who was identified as Martin A., equally slapped her younger sister, who was carrying their 11-month-old baby. And to the next story from Abuja. Information gathered says that tension in Abuja, residents flee as terrorists promise fresh attacks. Several residents, particularly women and children in the Abaji Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja communities of Adaba, Gurbi, Tepaship, Kutara, Rafindaji, Lafia Yaba, Mayaki, and Gulida have fled their homes over possible terrorist attack. When our correspondent visited some of the towns on Sunday, many houses remained unoccupied, with only a few locals, mostly males, seen in groups under trees, while others walked on their farms along the road. Yakubu Ibrahim, an Adaba native who was observed working on his farm, revealed that bandits forced him to relocate his 2 wives and children out of the neighborhood. Many men, he added, had relocated their wives and children for fear of being attacked by bandits, while he stayed because of his farm. He further said, I had to move my wives and children to Yongoji. I don't sleep in here. After I finish my work on the farm, I move to Yaba to sleep and come back the following morning. Abdullahi Miyaki, the village head of Adaba, said his subject, particularly women and children, had abandoned the village for fear of being assaulted by bandits. From the Abuja story, we go to the nearest state, which is Kogi State. Security agencies have been urged by the chairman of Okene local government area of Kogi State, Engineer Abdul Razak Mohammed, to investigate the father of New Jerusalem Deliverance Ministry, Pastor Peter Michonza, following netizens' calls on the state government, the Christian Association of Nigeria, and the Nigerian Medical Association to checkmate the activities of the pastor after the video of him selling bulletproof water went viral. The chairman in a statement noted that the directive for investigation became necessary after some of his alleged ungodly activities were published on social media by concerned members of the public. While appreciating the public for blowing the whistle and exposing the alleged atrocities of Mr. Peter in the name of church activities, Mohammed promised that the details of the investigation will be made public in due course. Moving on to a foreign story from the world news. Some Nigerians have expressed displeasure over the action of the newly crowned King of England, King Charles III, towards the black man during his mother's burial. Niger News report that in the video, which has gone viral, King Charles was seen avoiding giving a handshake to a black man who was among the crowd at Queen Elizabeth II funeral on Monday, 19 September. The act sparked outrage on social media, with many people questioning what the black man was doing at the event. While some claimed it was not a deliberate gesture from the king, others opined that the new king might be a staunch racist. It coming from the story, he did it deliberately, even when the man was still trying to hold onto his hand. You can see he waved him reluctantly, more like he's not comfortable with him. So sad. Before we wrap it up on the world news, here comes the sports story. Algeria will be without star midfielder Echim Badouri for their international friendly match against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Badouri sustained an injury in his French club, OG Nice, 1-0 defeat to Angers SCO last weekend. His compatriot Nabil Bentaleb scored the winning goal for Angers in the game. Head coach Jamel Ben Madi has called off Saudi Arabia-based midfielder Sofiane Ben Berke as his replacement. Ben Madi named a 25-man squad for the friendly on Saturday. The Desert Foxes started preparation for the game on Monday in Constantine. They are expected to leave for Iran on Tuesday today to continue their preparation. That concludes the world news from BGI TV. Before we go, some major headlines. FG should stop funding universities, says Senate. As we strike, Buhari regime does not value education, says Sanusi. And on sports, Algeria suffer injury blow ahead of Super Eagles friendly match. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is Babagade Imo TV. Kindly subscribe, click on the notification bell, select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placements only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rebila Lawal.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.